All right, welcome back everyone here into the Right Now studio. For today's guest segment, we wanted to do something a little bit special here. We actually have in our studio right now, as we speak, we have Joey Landwehr, who is with Broadway San Diego. And what we are going to do is, because we are so glad to partner up, obviously, with Broadway San Diego, is talk about, hey, Joey,
Hey.
Everything that you guys have going on, because it's a full slate of shows that you guys put on, but you also have so many different educational and youth programs as well too. So why don't we go ahead and start with that? Because I think for a lot of folks, they just assume Broadway San Diego, it's about putting on the shows and everybody going out there, seeing art, seeing all the different plays, the musicals and so forth. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And what can you tell us about the dedication and the philanthropy and the youth work that goes on with Broadway San Diego?
Well, I started at Broadway San Diego in this capacity as
Okay.
education and outreach director about two years ago.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot of education outreach and stuff like that because our brilliant boss decided that they wanted the right person in the job.
Okay, yeah, before they got started. There you go. That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And so we've done quite a few initiatives to start out with. I think one of our biggest is something called Broadway Bridges, where we partner with the Broadway League and the tours that come in, and they give us very inexpensive tickets for young people to come and see the show. And some of these kids get to see theater for the very first time ever in their lives. Their eyes are like saucers, and it's really amazing. For the last year and a half, we've got about 1,400 students saw their very first Broadway musical. And our goal is to have all of the students of San Diego County before they graduate high school to see a Broadway show.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
And obviously with the arts, we know that depending on what school you go to, it could be different. You could be fully immersed in the arts. You could have open opportunity. And for some high schools, it could be that they just don't have an active play schedule. I remember, so folks might not know this, but I was involved in drama and I played football, but I had to eventually start making a decision. We did our plays in the fall. And then we did our musicals in the spring, and I can't carry a note to save my life. And so I ended up having to go do the musicals, but I wanted to because those were my friends, and I wanted to go ahead and perform. And it was really great, and I learned a lot from it that I took on into my professional career here and growing up. So the arts are so important. It's not just about making it to Broadway or continuing to work on the arts. There are a lot of life lessons that kids can learn by being immersed in the arts.
Absolutely. Well, and also it is about also
It
going
is,
to Broadway.
yeah.
If you
It
saw
is.
the clip that we were just showing,
Yeah.
that's from our the best thing we do every year, I think, is the Broadway San Diego Awards.
Yes.
I've been artistic director for 14 years. And these kids, after we go out into the schools and adjudicate the musicals that they do have, we bring them in, we narrow it down to about 20 kids.
Okay.
And every May, we just finished our 2026 version, every May they come and they compete. And then the last two, the actor and actress, they get to go to Broadway and actually perform on a Broadway stage for the National High School Musical Theater Awards.
Wow.
It can change their lives forever. They get agents, they connect, have a showcase really for the best and the best on Broadway. And Addison Nesbitt and Teo Levy were our kids this past year, and they just were fantastic. Addison won the Showstopper Award. We're very proud of them. And,
That's amazing.
After that, they came back and they sang
I was just going to say,
national anthem.
they sang the national anthem and was that their first time performing the national anthem in a stadium capacity?
Well, them together, definitely. We worked on their duet, and they did a beautiful job. The talent that they have and the working together and how wonderful that they treat each other and support each other throughout the entire process. They're just great kids. All of them are.
Now take me through that, being able to go ahead and perform and then for yourself, I mean, it's got to be this like full circle moment to watch these kids put that talent on display in both capacities, both in New York and then obviously here in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I did a few Broadway shows when I was younger, not
Okay,
as young as them, but when I was younger, and I got to go to New York and experience their Broadway debut, and it was amazing. It was amazing to see them be a part of what I got to be a part of when I was younger, and then to come back and perform on our national holiday for the San Diego Waves at the Snapdragon Theater. It was just a huge event for them and for everybody involved.
Now for the San Diego, the Broadway San Diego Awards this year, You co-host with our Marcela Lee, right?
Yes, I do. One of my favorite people in the whole world.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's that like? Because I know what it's like working with Marcela Lee in this capacity. But tell me, does Marcela like have some of that Broadway talent there in the? I mean, I know she's got a ton of talent. She's a jack of all trades. But how did she get involved?
Well, she's been doing it. Since the beginning, really. I didn't host the first few years. I was just artistic director, and then our host sort of went away, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to co-host with Marcela?" And I was like, yes, I do. And what I love about Marcela is she never says no to anything. Last year, or 2 years ago, we were doing this tribute to Andrew Lloyd Webber, and we did a whole section of Starlight Express. And I said, hey, if I buy you some roller skates, will you roller skate across the stage with me? She's like, sure.
Yep.
And we did it, and it was a blast. We had so much fun, and we were playing with confetti this year. Our outfits are always coordinated.
That's
She's
awesome.
amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now you guys obviously have a couple of productions, a number of productions here in the works. Let's start with Hell's Kitchen, because I'm going through what obviously are some of the notes that you guys sent over to me, and obviously the name that caught my eye was Alicia Keys.
Yeah. Well, she lives in LA, in La Jolla now.
In La Jolla, yeah. So that was the big news. But what's her part in this in terms of crafting this musical?
Well, the story, they say the story is all about her life, and it is somewhat autobiographical, but not fully autobiographical. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story about growing up in Hell's Kitchen and living the part of an artist family, because her mother was an artist, and it's amazing how the music has come into her life and changed who she is. And Hell's Kitchen was a huge part of that because of where she was and how she was a part of it. And her music, from many of them are her hits that are strung together and beautifully strung together. And the way that they pull it together with the dancing and the singing, it just is breathtaking every step of the way.
But it's this, top recording artist, this amazing woman artist, now La Jolla resident, and what's it like to just know that her name is attached to a project like this?
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. We're hopeful that she'll come see the show. We've heard that she comes to see many of the shows that are in her area, and I'm knocking on wood right now. I told my boss, I said I want to meet her. I promise I won't stalk her.
Right,
she's just one of my favorite people in the whole world.
We just all know where she lives, right? And that's not. Hey, look, like they put out the press release, okay?
Right,
yeah, exactly. Where can folks, if they are interested in seeing Hell's Kitchen, or really any of the shows that we'll talk about here in a little bit, but tickets are still on sale, where can they go to find out a little bit more about it?
It's super easy. You just go to BroadwaySD.com, and we have all the tickets are available almost for our entire season. The Hell's Kitchen and the next show we're going to talk about is the end of our 48th season.
Okay.
And then we start with a big bang for our 49th season.
Okay, and I see it right here. So the next show, and by the way, Hell's Kitchen, that's going to run from August 11th on to the 16th. The next show that we're going to talk about here, Water for Elephants. What can you tell us about that?
So Water for Elephants, if you know the movie, it's all set in a circus, right? And there's elephants, there's animals. And my dear friend, David Renoisa, he's from San Diego, and he created all of the costumes for this.
Yeah.
And it's breathtaking. There's puppetry, and there's you'd swear the animals were alive on stage. And he creates these shows, these costumes that really have to be able to work because they're doing amazing, Cirque du Soleil-ish stuff all through it. But then they also have to tell the story, and he does it with such vibrant colors and an imagination. Just one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And I guarantee, if you come to see this and you see his production photos and things that we're showing on the screen right now, it's just amazing how you do that. And we are going to be at the Art Walk for Liberty Station in a couple of weeks, the beginning of August, and we'll have some of his actual costumes on display. So come over and check it out and see what we're going on.
That's so cool, because again, I think for folks, again, and you can see some of them here. Obviously some of the costumes that some of the actors and actresses will be wearing. But you were talking about kind of like bringing the animals to life as well too. I mean, that's got to be not painstaking, because it's the passion for people to bring, obviously, the stage. You're getting creative, right? That's the best way that sort of a stage right can sort of get around, maybe what are some of the limitations we think of, but they don't think of limitations, right? They just think of possibilities.
100%. That's a perfect way of saying
okay,
it.
good. Yeah,
they
let's
really
go ahead.
do. They open that up to everything possible. I mean, I think Julie Taymor with The Lion King, which is coming in our season this year, she started this idea of giant puppets that are alive and connected to the actors, and David just took that and just flew with it. And
That's
it's
awesome.
just really amazing.
I mean, you look at it there, and it just feels like you're transported to Elephant Valley up there in
Absolutely.
the safari park. Okay, so that would conclude the end of the 48th season with Water for Elephants. And then what are the dates for Water for Elephants?
Water for Elephants is August. It's right after.
So it's right after Hell's
18th
Kitchen.
through the 23rd.
18th through the 23rd. Yeah. And then how long before the 49th season gets started?
Well, not very long.
Okay.
We never stop.
Yeah.
So the very first week of September 2nd through the 13th, is when we bring our big guns back to the theater. And this, our 49th season, is very good, very different for us, because all the 49 years that we've been around, we've never had all of our shows that are coming currently on Broadway.
Got it.
This year we've done it,
right,
except for the first one. The first one is Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
They're bringing it back with all the bells and whistles that they had for the original production, and they're doing another brand new tour. And you haven't been able to see Phantom for quite a while, because it has been off Broadway. Finally, it's been there. It was one of the longest shows for years, but it was off Broadway. It's been off Broadway for quite a few years now.
Wow.
So you haven't been able to see it until now.
Wow.
And so it's a whole generation of people that never saw Phantom of the Opera, and it's an incredible musical, Broadway musical, that has won 1 million awards. Everybody needs to see it.
that is truly amazing, and so far I think for those who maybe are in that generation that they have not been able to see it, what would be your, not sales pitch, but what would be the best way that you think to describe the rendition that Broadway San Diego will be putting on?
Well, I mean, it's the largest, most intricate, most glamorous show that has really ever been on Broadway.
No.
And it's going to have everything in it. As you can see, the costumes are absolutely incredible. The lighting is amazing. They have a giant boat that floats across the stage. I mean, you can't do anything bigger than this. And the best part about it is the chandelier. Now, if you don't know about that, in the very beginning, a chandelier sort of is brought up into the house, and it falls on, quote, on the audience, and it's breathtaking, and it's scary, and it's really beautiful. And they actually, every show that is put on for Phantom of the Opera, they name the chandelier.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny. So there's been many different iterations of the chandelier, and this year it's named for Dame Gillian Lynn. So it's Gillian, the chandelier.
Okay.
And who was the original choreographer for Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, wow.
And so when it comes flying down, you can just yell Gillian to the audience. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not yell during the performance. All right. Well, if we could, before we let you go, I would just like to sort of, you said you've been in this role for about 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think this role, but Broadway San Diego? I feel like there has been a resurgence in original Broadway musicals, but also just as we see, taking care of those who are classic as well too. It almost seems like a resurgence in theater, if you will. Am I wrong or am I right? I just feel like it's growing.
I think you're right. I mean, personally, I think there's a resurgence in theater because it's sort of the last horizon. I mean, AI seems to be taking over everything. Yeah. Well, good luck taking over theater,
right? Because
it's hard for AI to have the breath before. Mm-hmm. It's hard for AI to do, sub thoughts in the acting world. It's difficult, and you really need real people to look into the hearts and souls of these characters and the hearts and souls of the audience and create that connection. There was a study done, it was like 5 years ago or so, that being in an audience, seeing a live production, it's different than anything else because the audience starts to share a heartbeat. Yeah. And the heartbeat connects everybody in the audience with the people that are on stage. And you can't do that sitting at home and watching Netflix. It's just, it can't happen. That's fascinating.
That's amazing. Where can folks go to learn a little bit more about Broadway San Diego, either attending one of the performances, but also maybe even getting involved or contributing?
Absolutely. So if you go to BroadwaySD.com or BroadwaySD.com/education, you can see our educational initiatives that we have going on. And we'd love for you to be a part of it. And come and see every year our Broadway San Diego Awards, because it literally is changing people's lives 2 at a time every single year.
And that's in the spring, right?
That is every May.
Every May. Yes. Awesome. Well, Joey, thank you so much for joining us. This has been an amazing conversation.